4, 3, 2,
Shoe
1.
nice. You're not supposed to say the one. Have you seen iCarly?
That's right. We already started recording at 4.
What twisted world do you live in where we start recording at 4? I don't
Uh,
like this. Is why no one subscribes.
it, it's one of the reasons. It's not the only
Oh yeah,
reason.
sorry. Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're at episode 19.
Cancel us. Come on, this is
Give
getting
me give me
ridiculous.
give me a give me a 19, Matt. First thing that comes to mind when you think 19.
Bernie Kosar.
Ugh. Yeah.
Ugh. What do you mean? Ugh.
I
He's a
mean,
solid
Bernie Cook.
quarterback.
He was okay. He had a few good years. Kind of overrated. Everybody
Was he an
cre-
Alex Smith kind of guy where he had a good defense and good weapons around him? Is that where you're getting to?
I think that discredits Alex Smith's career because Alex Smith's career has spanned much larger than what the
Jesus,
goodness.
you watch an E60 documentary about him getting better on his freaking leg, and all of a sudden he's a great quarterback.
I
Let's
still
let's relax,
I
people.
still haven't
Like I
watched
get
it.
his inspiring.
I haven't watched the E60 yet. So jokes on you.
No, kick rocks. Everyone's like, dude, he's inspirational. It's like, okay, everyone's turning Aaron Rodgers back into the villain of, oh, he took this sunshine away from Alex Smith. It's like, kick rocks, man.
Okay,
You were on.
no one took the sunshine away from Alex Smith. However, I think Alex Smith does not get the credit that he deserves for the career that he's had.
No, he's had a solid career. I think most people would say he's had a solid career.
I feel like a lot of people would say he's had an average career. However, if you're above average your entire career, that's a pretty good career.
Right. He's been to what? Two NFC championship games.
Um,
He got replaced by Mahomes and Kaepernick
mm-hmm.
on really good teams. So like it could have been Super Bowls, but probably I don't know. I don't know. If he gets replaced one more time and that team goes to a Super Bowl, I'm starting to think it's on you, Alex. Like if Dwayne Haskins freaking does it, then something's up here. And I'll stand by that.
Well, I don't think that'd be the same exact thing, but go ahead.
Do you think any NFL player is going to have like a Karate Kid moment where they go up to Alex Smith and they're like, sweep the leg? And they just freaking. No, that's mean. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's funny though. I like that.
That's
No,
mean.
I
Could
could
you
see
imagine if that happened?
I could see Ndamukong Suh doing that.
Is he even on a team? Ndamukong Suh.
I feel like he was with the Buccaneers.
Is he
Ndamukong.
still with them? How do you even spell that? ND.
Thank you, Google.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, Google's got me.
Defensive end for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, Fwick.
He's already 33. Holy cow.
Yeah, he was a rookie the same year as Tim Tebow.
We're getting old, Matt.
Yeah, we're getting old.
All right,
Is this
so
interesting yet?
nah, probably not. All right, so Matt, what's new with you?
Let's see. What's new with me? My brother's been making me watch all the Star Wars movies, and
Ew.
I'm hating it.
Yeah, it's not good.
So far, we just finished Empire Strikes Back, and we're going in like not in order of when they were released, but
Okay,
like episodic. So like prequels, originals, and then Disney.
but Empire Strikes Back is the very first one that was released.
Nah, it's episode 5. A New Hope was the first one. It was originally called Star Wars, and then they retitled it A New Hope. And then episode 5 is Empire Strikes Back.
A New Hope is the first one that was released.
Yeah, that was the first Star Wars movie.
Okay, interesting.
Episode 4.
I could have
Yeah,
swore Empire Strikes Back was the. I don't know. I saw
I
whatever
don't
the
know.
first one was and stopped watching about 30 minutes in.
Listen, the first time I watched the first Star Wars, A New Hope, episode 4, I don't know how to address it. It's so
Yeah.
confusing. Episode 4, the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, that was nothing really special. But when you go through the first 3 prequels, that movie is like an Oscar award winner because those first 3 that came out in the early
Are
2000s are
bad.
terrible. Holy cow, they were a tough watch.
Well, that's what I understand from all my friends who are Star Wars fans that
Mm-hmm.
that movie is just riding off whatever hype or whatever steam it had from the movies that were in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and then I feel like all I've heard like this past 2 decades is that these Star Wars movies are horrible from the
Yeah,
fans.
And I made some kind of TikTok video where I mentioned the Star Wars prequels, and I got all these people defending them, and I'm like, were you guys like, what? Like, I don't even understand how you can grow up with those movies and enjoy them. Everyone says Jar Jar Binks is hilarious. He was literally written out of the next two movies after everyone hated him in the first one. I don't know. It's a mind boggler. I don't know.
I can understand if someone was young and they first saw it that they would.
Yeah.
No, even that. I don't know. I think those movies are too slow to like even like them, and I'm fine with slow.
Yeah, those
movies.
are like 2.5 hours, 2 hours 45 minutes. The originals are like 2 hours. It's just
Shawshank Redemption of space movies.
Shawshank is good though, and it has compelling characters and a good. Never mind. Don't compare the Star Wars prequels to Shawshank Redemption. What the heck is going on here?
All right, you watching anything new besides Star Wars movies?
Anything new? No. That's about it.
I'm watching. I've been starting to watch two new things. I watch one of the guys I watch on Twitch. Like he has like watch parties, and they're two jail shows, two prison shows. 60 Days In, which is where they put like 7 or 8 contestants into a county jail for 60 days, and they have to figure out like where all the drugs are coming from, where all the gangs are doing, and like these are like actual plants. So if they get found out, they're kind of in trouble.
Wait, real? I thought
these,
it was like a reality game show, but it's real.
These are legitimate, like real life people who get put into a prison with actual felons and criminals.
How is this legal?
I don't know, but it's honestly it's very compelling.
It sounds.
All the women in it suck.
Oh God!
Because all they do is just get into like their little cliques and they just they just gossip about each other.
And it's boring.
It's very boring. Like I want to see like actual stuff happen. One of the
guys, I want to see someone get shanked in the freaking shower.
Yeah.
That's what.
Well,
come on.
Yeah, right. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of fights on that show all the time.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say there's a lot of murder.
No, but like
we had 60 contestants, we got 14 now.
No, they but they drop like they have cameras in every single cell and everything. They tell like all the inmates like, hey, we're shooting like a documentary about prison life or whatever. It's kind of like the cover up, but you get to see like guys in there how they make shanks. A lot of them like just like somehow like mold a bunch of hard pieces of plastic together, and like that creates a shank. The way some of the guys are able to smuggle in marijuana and smoke it is what they do is they get their mattress, which is honestly mattresses are probably like this thin.
Yeah,
it's like one of those blue mattresses from like kindergarten where you would sleep on them with your beach towel, during nap time.
Yeah.
What they would do is they would flush the toilet and at the same time press their mattress inside the toilet water to create a negative pressure while they smoke inside the bowl. So that way smoke doesn't get into their jail cell and you can't smell it and it goes all inside the toilet.
What?
Yep.
Just for some weed?
Right.
Not even some like freaking meth or something good?
Drugs are expensive too. Like drugs are like 8 or 9 commissary items, and commissary items are, one, very overpriced for these inmates, and two, a lot of these inmates don't have the money. So when they get these commissary items, they're like, "Hey man, 8 or 9 for some weed or some dope."
That's hilarious.
But no, it's very entertaining. One guy, I think it was like season 3 and season 4. His name's Nate. He did season 3 so well that the sheriff was like, "Hey, you want to stay an extra 60 days?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So he spent.
They're just gonna hire him.
He spent close to what would that be? 4 months. He spent a third of a year inside jail, and like everybody in that jail got his back. The interesting thing is like usually in these jails, it's very race divided. However, in his one, it was in Fulton County in Atlanta. It wasn't too race divided. He had literally everybody in that jail in like his kind of block completely behind his back. Like one of the guys in there broke his iPad that he rented from the jail, and every single one of those guys was like, "Yo, let us know. We'll jump him. We'll jump him." there's like,
Like,
there's like
I'll kill him.
there's
I'll
like
kill a
there's
fool.
like 10 or 15 guys that are ready to jump this one guy on Nate's command. He's just like, well, I can't legally do this. Like, this is, this is something that I just cannot do.
Nah, I'll get over it.
And then the other one I'm watching is Beyond Scared Straight, which
Oh, okay.
the first 15 minutes of each episode is absolutely hilarious because these jail guards just have so much fun just absolutely bullying these children. And they're children. They're 13 to 16 years old. And these are 30, 40, 50-year-old, prison guards that are just absolutely bullying their children. It's hilarious. And then it gets kind of sad when you figure out these these kids' backgrounds. But I like to focus on the first 15 minutes of them just yelling and berating these children right in their faces. So that's been pretty fun. I like it.
See, it's like a Dr. Phil episode. Whenever I watch Dr. Phil, it's fun to see Dr. Phil like freaking just embarrass these people and yell at them and put their embarrassing life on full display for all of America.
Mm-hmm.
But then the episode evolves and it's like, oh, well, I'm still gonna laugh because Dr. Phil's accent's funny. But I guess I feel a little bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
Who goes to Dr. Phil to get help though? I don't know.
No, I agree. All right, Matt. I also wanted to quickly divulge on UFC tonight. I want to try and make you a fan tonight. All right.
Stipe versus Cormer.
So of course you got Stipe versus DC. So this is the trilogy.
I mean, however you want to say it.
The correct way. That's how I want to say it. So
Stipe
versus DC. This is the trilogy. A lot of bad blood between two guys who used to be a very good friendship.
Wow.
You have.
I'm sure none of it's contrived at all. I'm sure none of it's contrived or overblown.
It's not. I mean,
it's not.
Well, some might be from Daniel Cormier's side. Stipe Miocic is probably one of the most. And listen, I'm biased, but he's probably just one of the most straight-faced, like straight to business kind of guys in the UFC. He hates doing press tours. He hates doing all of that. He only does it because he's contracted.
Like Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Exactly. That's literally exactly how Stipe Miocic is. Besides all the Skittles, but you have the trilogy. You have two guys who really do not like each other. Daniel Cormier is probably one of the best overall, like pound for pound fighters ever. Stipe Miocic is the best heavyweight fighter ever. I think DC, this is his last fight. He said it's last fight. I think Stipe knocks him out second round.
Second round KO, he says.
I think so.
How is he going to knock him out?
With his fists.
No, not his feet.
No.
Okay.
I mean, Stipe can throw some kicks here and there. I don't think he's flexible. Well, Daniel Cormier is a small guy, but I don't think Stipe is an agile enough guy to get his leg all the way up to that head. But Stipe can throw some kicks here and there, but Stipe has bombs, man. He has bombs inside of his hands. He's one of the hardest hitting heavyweights out there.
All right,
So of course the main card. Everybody knows what the main card is. That's why everybody or the main event. That's why everybody watches.
Right.
You're aware of Stipe. He's a Cleveland guy, so of course you.
Stipe.
Of course, Matt. If you're watching, you'd want to root for him, right?
I don't know. My brother is rooting for him, and we're probably gonna watch it tonight, so I might root against him just to tick him off.
Don't do that. All right.
Why? It's fun.
However, one of the other fights in the main event card. This is the co-main event. Sugar Shane O'Malley versus Marlon Vera is such an interesting fight because Sugar Sean O'Malley is probably one of the most highly touted UFC prospects ever. Think about Josh Gordon, Matt. Think about Josh Gordon if Josh Gordon didn't get suspended by weed.
Okay. I mean, I'm in the headspace.
That's what this guy is. This guy is
frick!
Well, think about like 2013, 2014 Josh Gordon.
I don't know. We made him look good.
Not this current Josh Gordon. Stop it. Not this current Josh Gordon. But 2013, 2014 Josh Gordon, if he doesn't get suspended by weed, that's what Sugar Shane O'Malley is. Shane O'Malley,
I got a question.
Hit me.
Really quick. Is it Sugar? SUGA?
Yeah,
or
that's
are you just saying it weird?
That's his nickname.
Oh, okay. It's not Sugar.
No, it's not Sugar. It's Sugar.
And you're just saying it. Okay, that's fine. All right, that's good. All right, continue.
but he is just this lanky, awkward-looking kid, has a rainbow afro, and he has some of the most crazy power in his fists and hands.
Are there bombs in his fists?
There's bombs in those fists, and no one knows where it comes from because he's nothing but skin and bones.
And bombs.
And bombs. Shut up, Matt. But I'm telling you, if you're a brand new UFC fan or not a fan at all, and you're thinking about getting into it, or you don't even want to get into it, but there's still a chance that you may be a fan someday somewhere around the road, you watch this fight and you watch this kid, because he is absolutely on the rise. He's one of the best fighters in the UFC, and he's facing a very, very good veteran in Marlon Vera, who in his own right is such a good fighter in the bantamweight division. He's a championship caliber fighter.
So who you got? Who do you got? Who's winning?
So it scares me because I'm such a Shane O'Malley fan, but Marlon Vera is such a good fighter. However, I mean Shane O'Malley's a minus 300 favorite, which is that's a big betting line when it comes to fighting. But I don't know. Vera's a very good, tough opponent. He's good on the ground. Sean O'Malley, really good stand-up game, decent on the ground. But I think I still got Sean O'Malley.
Now, when you say on the ground, what do you mean?
So grappling. So wrestling, jiu-jitsu,
Got it.
Kind of the transitions that they go through, kind of ground control.
I thought they had like freaking they could fly midway through.
Okay.
That'd be dope, right?
All right. So
fine, I'll start my own league.
Other
F you guys,
Matt. Other fights I want you to pay attention to.
All right.
Junior Dos Santos versus Rosenstruck. I'm gonna send you this guy's name so you can try and pronounce his first name. Because Rosenstruck on its own, that's a difficult name to pronounce, and you may not think.
What do we got? Russian? Is it Russian?
So he is from a South American, like, small country. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's like it used to be a Dutch colony, so that's why he has this name.
Jairzinho? How do you say the first name? Or is that the name I'm supposed to say?
Yeah, that's the one you're supposed to say.
Jairzinho.
There you go. That was
Rosenstruck. It sounds Ukrainian.
I'm pretty sure it's Dutch. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure
Rosenstruck.
Rosenstruck. There you go.
Oh.
Those are two guys who can end a fight in one shot. And why is that, Matt?
Because they got bombs.
They got bombs. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, and two other fights. One, Burns versus Pineda. I believe his name is Michael Burns. I could be wrong.
Burns versus.
I'm sorry,
Herbert Pineda. Is that what you said?
Pineda.
I thought you said pinata. I was like, well,
No.
Well, he's made to be busted open, idiot.
So this is Herbert Burns. He's the brother of Gilbert Burns, who's one of the best.
Herbert.
You go ahead, Matt. You go to him.
I'm gonna laugh at his face.
And you laugh at his name.
Saying.
You laugh at his name.
His name's Herbert. Just go by Herb,
Dude,
bro.
Herbert is a sucky name.
Herbert Bert. One of the two. Don't go by both of them. Holy cow.
So Herbert Burns, brother Gilbert Burns, he's 11-2, 1 TKO and 8 submissions. So that's a pretty good finishing rate. Pineda, who's his opponent, 26-13. He has 8 KOs and 18 submissions, which means every single one of his wins is a finish. So I don't think there's any single way that this match goes the distance.
No way.
I don't think so.
Neither do I, and I don't even know him.
And Pineda's his last 3 fights, his last 3 wins didn't make it out of the first round. So this is an interesting fight. It might be a little bit
more good undercard here, folks.
It might be a little more wrestling that, fans may not be too attracted to instead of the good old classic Swain and Bane, but it's still a very interesting fight between two very good fighters. And the last one, which I think starts at like 7 o'clock, 7:30, somewhere around there, is Daskus versus Porter. These are two hefty boys, Matt.
Daskus?
I think Dakis, somewhere around there. I think that's his name.
Dude's a dang Pokemon with that name.
So these are two hefty boys, Matt, in the heavyweight division.
Hey, represent.
They have 25 fights, and only one of them has 25 fights together, combined. Only
Gotcha.
one fight is ever left decision-wise. So these
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say in only one of them they won.
no, these guys. There's going to be a lot of swinging and banging in this one. Two hefty boys. If it makes it out of the first round, one of these guys might die.
Just of heat exhaustion.
Due to conditioning.
True.
But yeah, thank you for letting me nerd out about UFC really quickly.
Yeah.
All right, what do we have?
I'll probably tune in to like half those fights.
Okay. Hey, half of those fights are still
if
good.
I can find an illegal stream, I'll be there.
I got you. I'll hook you up after that, or when that comes on. All right. So quickly, Matt, I have a rant. If you'd like to indulge me.
You always got a rant, and I'm always here, and I'm ready for it.
Matt, what are some of your least favorite terms when it comes to sports?
All right. Well, you used one of them earlier.
Okay.
Which was, frick, what was it? It's
Bombs.
freaking dude. This guy has the ability to end this fight in one punch. Yeah. So does everyone, sweetheart. They're professional boxers and fighters.
Mm-mm.
I don't like that one. You
Okay.
disagree?
That's fair. No, I can
like I can understand, like, yeah, they're a hard power puncher or whatever you want to say, but it's like literally everyone in this sport can do that.
I don't know. There's some guys with pillow hands though, like Pacquiao.
Oh, like Floyd Mayweather.
Pacquiao.
Oh, Pacquiao now, dude, he's like 80.
Yeah. Still, Pacquiao's always had pillow hands, hasn't he?
Hold on, he almost knocked out Jeff Horn, the stupid Australian dude.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Neither do I.
Well, he said almost. You said almost. So
well, he took care of him the whole time, and then they still gave him Jeff Horn the win, which I don't understand, but it's all good.
Now, did they give Jeff Horn the win because the boxing commission is horrible at having judges?
Yes.
Or because okay,
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it was in Australia, and everyone was like, "Oh, crikey, I'll make one." And Pacquiao's like, "What?
Wait, can you
check the numbers?
Can you go ahead and repeat what they said?
What did I say? Crikey, I'll make one.
Thank you. All right, just making sure. I wanted to make sure I caught that.
Yeah, you caught it. You caught it and ran it into the end zone, baby. I want to know your terms that you hate.
So there's one term that always comes up. And it always happens when there's an altercation on the field or on the court or wherever.
That is a disgusting act. Randy Moss.
The integrity of the sport is one of the worst, just most asinine comments a commentator can ever make when they're talking about something. You want to talk about fighting in sports? Look at hockey. People pay attention to hockey just for the fights. Is it ruining the integrity of the sport? No, because it's a part of the sport. Now, in baseball and football, should fighting be a part of the sport? Probably not. However, it doesn't ruin any sort of integrity whatsoever that sport has. People are talking about, Myles Garrett's helmet to Mason Rudolph, that ruins the integrity of the sport. Nigel Morgan, when he got into every single charging the mound altercation, that ruins the integrity of the sport. Okay, Ron Artest punching a fan might have ruined a little integrity of the sport there.
That was so funny, though. He punched the wrong guy. He didn't even punch the guy who threw it. He was probably so angry he couldn't find him, and he's like, "You're fine."
But recently, Giannis headbutting, I forget who he headbutted. Shut up. People pay attention to these things. People like to watch these things. You don't talk about integrity of the sport. You talk about the garbage referees that are a part of all of this. You talk about the garbage just rules that are just absolutely taken advantage of by commissioners over and over again. You talk about all of the horrible players associations, with the exception of the NBA Players Association, who seems to always have a very good one. You talk about all of that crap instead of the on the field super competitive guys going at it. I'm so tired of people talking about the integrity of the sport whenever people fight. It is the worst thing in the world. Shut up. People like it.
I just don't understand who you're talking to. Are you trying to get in good with the commissioner of the league by saying this? Because I hear it all the time in football, and it's this is a very violent sport, and tempers are gonna flare, especially when 90% of these altercations of fights that happen in sports are because the game got out of hand or was mismanaged by the refs. And a lot of the fights would be away if the refs just did their job properly and kind of cleared the fire before any of this got out of hand. So I really don't get it either.
You want to talk about a violent sport? When Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor fought, and
Oh, I watched that.
at the end,
Yeah.
Khabib jumps over the railing and just eagle drops down onto Conor McGregor's entire corner. And you hear Joe Rogan on the mic being like, "Oh no, that's not what this sport means." What do you mean that's not what this sport means?
What? What? When the bell rings, we're best friends. When
Exactly.
the bell.
All UFC did was pump up the feud that was already in between Khabib and Conor McGregor. They talked about just the remarks that Conor's made about Khabib, the all the bad blood and rivalry. That's all they did was pump it up more and more. Let's not act like that wasn't awesome.
Right. Like all the fighting, the fighting that's either fake or it's real in the press conferences, they'll hype that up and be like, "This is gonna be one crazy fight." But once they already got their money and the fight's over, and then a fight breaks out afterwards, they're like, "Oh, this what is this? We didn't sign up for this. The people didn't pay money to see these two fight." Oh wait, they did.
And they purposely have reporters, they purposely have promos that do nothing but antagonize the fighters about one each other more and more than what they already don't like each other about. Get out of here. I'm tired of that.
Yeah. Nice. This was a good take.
Thank you.
I'm pleasantly surprised. Usually your takes tick me off. That was a good one.
I appreciate it. All right, Matt. NBA, Orlando, bubble, playoffs. What are we thinking here? What do you like? What do you don't like?
What do I like? Let's see. I can't really get a good read on the Lakers because they clinched the 1 seed so early that they stopped caring.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best stories are the Suns going undefeated and still missing it. Freaking TJ Warren coming out of nowhere. Michael Porter Jr. finally showing his potential.
Man, yeah.
What else we got? Giannis only getting 1 game for a headbutt, but if it was literally any other player on the Bucks, he'd probably be suspended 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm fine with the headbutting, but come on, let's get some even punishment here.
Okay, was it really a headbutt? Was it really a headbutt, or was he just charging?
I only saw one angle. It was more of a like get out of my face kind of thing.
Yeah, it was more. Well, if anything, it was more getting in my face, or getting
right because he approached him. Yeah, but I mean,
I think one game for that is fine though. Like that's.
I think it's fine, but it's like let's be consistent. That's the whole thing I have. But I don't know what else. Freaking the Pelicans disappointed me. Zion didn't do much. Lonzo continues to be the most inconsistent shooter in the NBA, and Brandon Ingram needs to get off that team and stop splitting minutes with Zion Williamson because it's hurting both of them.
Do you think they should? Like, so what do they? Do they have Ingram playing the? Do they have both of them playing the 3? Or
from what I've watched this year, I've seen them both on the floor. I'm guessing Zion at 4 and Ingram at 3, but they play the same position, so it's like I would if I was the Pelicans. I mean, obviously you're gonna go with Zion, obviously, and I would just trade Ingram. You could probably get a first rounder for him.
You can get a first rounder and probably a solid role player for Brandon Ingram. I would think
first rounder, 2 seconds, or maybe even another guy because Ingram's good. Like before Zion came on, he was literally an all-star, and his numbers obviously dipped once Zion came on. He was sharing minutes and reps with him, but yeah, what's going on in the Eastern Conference? I haven't really been paying attention.
So
Damian Lillard too. That too.
Yeah, I mean,
an animal.
You know, I tweeted. I think I tweeted either last night or 2 nights ago. But I was like, there's no 3 other players in the league that deserve a ring as much as C.J. McCollum, Dame Lillard, and Melo Anthony. Like I can't think of 3 other besides Chris Paul. Probably him.
Yeah, but he's annoying.
He is.
He doesn't get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, kick rocks, Chris. Go win one at Wake Forest.
Yeah, that'll show him.
No, I don't know.
I don't know, like the East, like the middle seeded games are somewhat interesting. Like the Heat and Pacers, that's an interesting series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the more I
now
think
the
about
Sixers are without Simmons, which is annoying.
The 76ers are without Simmons, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and Embiid's hurt, but he should be good.
And they face the Celtics, who are just starting to get hot.
Oh boy.
So again bias, but
Oh
Tatum,
yeah, I know.
Tatum and Brown have been working very well together in this bubble
Dude.
recently.
Ever since you said something about Jason Tatum being better than Brandon Ingram, and I was like so vehement that Ingram was better, and then their trajectories went in completely opposite directions since I've said that, and I hate it. But Tatum's an animal.
Well, I think part of that's just the schemes that they're in and the
Mm-hmm.
surrounding pieces. I can't blame Brandon Ingram. I've always thought Brandon Ingram's going to be a fine, good NBA player. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't always on the hype train like other people were about him, but I still think he's going to be fine. It's just the scheme around him. I mean, Jason Tatum's got one of the best, if not the best, coach in the NBA. He's got a point guard who's willing to distribute the ball and willing to take kind of more attention away from all the other guys. And I mean that entire Celtics starting roster is pretty well rounded. So
Mm-hmm.
I when it comes to the Pelicans and it's hard to judge Ingram still, especially when
Yeah.
his first few years or 1 year was with LeBron as well and all that. So
Yeah, the rebuilding after Kobe Lakers and then 1 year with LeBron.
mm-hmm.
So that's fun.
Yeah, but so I mean the Bucks face the Magic, which that's going to be a sweep. Heat and Pacers, I could see that going to a 7. I don't know who wins. I think maybe the Heat are kind of the better off team right now, even though
Mm.
it's high on the
Dude,
Pacers.
the Pacers are just so sneaky. Like they're so like they get everyone involved. That's a really well coached team.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I always underestimate them. I'm like,
Who
how is this team in the playoffs right
who
now?
is the Pacers head coach? Nate McMillan.
Yeah.
I don't know much
Dude,
about him.
yeah, he sounds like he should be on the McDonald's menu.
Um, Celtics and Sixers without Simmons, I don't see the Sixers pulling that out.
Mm-hmm. Especially with Embiid being even a little. I mean, he's always banged up. It seems like, but still.
And then the Raptors, I don't understand how they're so good without
I don't
Kawhi
either.
Leonard on their team. Because I mean, Siakam's good.
Mm-hmm. He's really grown into a really good player.
Kyle Lowry's still fine.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Van Fleet's still fine. If
He
Serge,
can go off for some crazy games. Van
yeah,
Vliet,
they still have Serge Ibaka, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
He's fine. And they're somehow just so really good. And
Well, they were really good for how long in the regular season with DeRozan and Lowry, and they're always like a top seed. And then I don't know how they're going to do without Kawhi. I'm interested to see what they do this year because I'm sure they still have a chip on their shoulder because now everyone's redoubting them because Kawhi's gone.
and I was a guy who was very critical when they fired Dwayne Casey because
Mm-hmm. Me
I
too.
thought
Yeah.
I mean I still think Dwayne Casey's a very good head coach, but Nick
He
Nurse
literally won Coach of the Year, or he got fired and then he won Coach of the Year, or one of the two orders. But he
yeah
literally won Coach of the Year and got fired.
yeah, but Nick Nurse is the truth. He is just really
Yeah, he's solid.
he's plugged that team together really well. I I think it's going to be between the Celtics and the Bucks coming out of the East. That series is a huge toss up. Out of the West, can you see a scenario where Portland is just playing off of the momentum they have and knocks out the Lakers in the first round?
Absolutely. I can. That's why I'm so terrified. And right now they're bopping the Grizzlies as we're doing this.
Because I can't really think who else comes out of the West. I mean, the Nuggets are always there.
Clippers.
Luka Doncic is putting the Mavericks on his back.
Mm.
The Rockets aren't going anywhere. Thunder,
Especially with Westbrook missing time
mm-hmm.
in this first round.
Yeah, the Clippers seem like the safe choice, especially if Paul George can put it together.
Yeah, he's taking me off.
I don't think Luka has the help yet, and all the surrounding pieces to carry them that far. Nuggets are still a really good team.
But I just don't think they can beat Clippers or Lakers if they're there. Honestly, I think the Blazers could take them because they had that great. Didn't they have that great series last year?
The Blazers faced Golden State last year, right? In the first round.
First round? Can't even remember.
I am looking that up right now. In 2019, the Blazers. Oh, they
like
faced
they made the
faced the
conference
Warriors in
finals.
the Western Conference Finals. That's right. That's when
Yeah.
who's the big players on the Blazers that just went off? Like Rodney Hood and all of them.
Oh yeah, Rodney Hood had that one crazy game. There was one like crazy overtime game. I think it was against the Nuggets, the series before the Warriors.
Hmm.
They went off, but no one expected them to beat the Warriors because Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson.
Right. So I mean, if you think about it, if Portland somehow upsets the Lakers,
Which is a possibility.
the next team they face will either be the Thunder or the Rockets, and I absolutely see them beating both of those teams.
Thunder are a sneaky team, but yeah, I would take the Blazers over them probably.
And then the winner of the Clippers and Mavs would play the winner of the Nuggets and Jazz. And I don't see the Jazz winning against the Nuggets. I could see them beating most of the other teams on this bracket, but I don't see the Jazz beating the Nuggets.
I think that series will go 7. I think that's a really interesting series.
Yeah,
I haven't watched a ton on both teams, but they've been like really both really good teams, especially with Porter Jr. with the Nuggets becoming a thing now.
Yeah, so I mean, you'll probably have the Clippers versus the Nuggets, and the winner of that's a toss up as well. Winner of that, I mean, I don't see Portland beating either of those teams now that I think about it.
I don't know. I think maybe. I mean, LeBron's getting a lot of rest right now, while the Blazers are putting everything into right now.
And I was about to say
just to make it.
That is the what if somehow the Blazers beat the Lakers, which I think the Lakers still win. I'm pretty sure in my early season prediction or like before season prediction, I had the Blazers making the playoffs or making the championship, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to see a good Lakers run. I don't know. I mean, LeBron looked a little iffy. I mean, he just needs once he gets locked in and figures it out, it's gonna be fun, especially with Anthony Davis. It's a fun time.
All right. So, what's your predictions for the conference finals, and what's your prediction for the finals?
All right, you know what? I'm gonna trust in my Lakers to squeak by the Blazers.
Sure.
I'm gonna say it's a 7-game series, but I'm gonna go. I gotta look at seedings real quick, just to make sure I don't say a thing that's not even possible.
So Lakers 1, Portland 8.
I got it.
Clippers 2, Mavericks 7.
So I'm gonna go Lakers Clippers in the conference finals, and I want to. I don't trust us against the dang Clippers.
Dude, I don't know. That Nuggets versus the Clippers is gonna be a good series. That's a hard one to pick.
Dude, but you got Kawhi Leonard, you got freaking Paul George. Paul George has been he's been locked in. Freaking, you got other role players. Lou Williams is back in the bubble. You got Zubats. I think they have Montrezl Harrell, who's a great glass cleaner.
Let me tell you,
he's laughing.
Those hot wings for Lou Williams better been the best hot wings of all time. I swear to God.
He needs to go on hot ones after this because that Lou Williams, what a guy. I miss him. I wish he was still on the Lakers. So you know what? I'm gonna say Clippers beat the Lakers. Okay. Just so if it doesn't happen, just so if the Lakers win or they don't win, I have something to be like, ha ha, I knew it. And I'm gonna go. Celtics are a 3 seed. Oh man, I always doubt the Raptors. I always do it, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go Bucks Celtics. I think Giannis still has a little bit of work to do. I still think that if they focus in on Giannis, the Celtics are a better team. So I'm going Clippers Celtics, and I'm going to be extra ticked that the Lakers couldn't meet the freaking Celtics in the finals. And I'm gonna tick you off at the same time and say the Clippers win it in 6.
Okay, so I have the same prediction, except I think the Celtics win in 7. Tatum versus Giannis. That matchup is going to be awesome to watch. However, Tatum versus Paul George and Jaylen Brown on Kawhi Leonard. I mean, you have Kawhi Leonard and Jaylen Brown are some of the best two-way players you can have in the NBA. That's going to be such an awesome matchup.
So is Paul George. He's an underrated defender too.
He really is, and so is Tatum. That core right there is really good. I think that'll be a very, very fun championship to watch. I could see Celtics Lakers. I don't know. I don't know.
Listen, if the NBA is going to rig something to happen, it's going to be Lakers Celtics.
I think Celtics. Now that I think about it, I think Celtics Lakers is going to happen. I think the Lakers squeak by Portland. They figure everything out versus either the Thunder or the Rockets. And then by that time, the Lakers are going to be ready to go. And then they beat the Clippers in 7.
Ooh, baby.
I'm still taking the Celtics over the Lakers because I would stab myself in the leg.
To lose to the Lakers with LeBron on the Lakers,
Oh,
is that like your
stop it!
nightmare scenario?
Stop that right now! I didn't even think. I didn't even stop it.
And Kendrick Perkins is gonna get hurt again. It's crazy.
I don't know how much Kendrick Perkins' injury would play into this. However, he did not get hurt. He didn't get hurt that first time, or that in 2010. He wasn't allowed to play because of all the flagrant fouls he had.
He got suspended. I thought he was hurt.
No, he got suspended for all the. Was he
hurt in 08?
Was it techs or flagrants?
I think if you have like 6 technical fouls in the playoffs, you get a suspension.
Yes.
Or something. I don't know.
Yes, that horrible.
I thought he got hurt though.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid.
I'm 99% sure. I could be
Lakers
wrong,
won, so it doesn't matter.
And I'm pretty sure Scalabrine played like legitimate minutes in that and all that. In 2010, I could be wrong.
All right, moving on.
All right. All right. MLB, what are you seeing? What are you liking? Besides, of course, our Baltimore.
Carlos Santana is leading the league in walks. 26 walks as we speak. The Indians play tonight, and he's probably going to get a couple more. This is fantastic. This is a dream scenario. The bottom half of the lineup is absolutely awful, except for Franmil Reyes as of recent. But for most of this year, it's been a nightmare. And the pitchers are like, well, why the frick would we pitch to Carlos? Let's just walk him. And I'm loving it. He's got 26 walks. It's great. That's all I've been paying attention to. What else has happened in the MLB?
The Orioles are becoming our overlords.
Oh yeah,
they are 4th place in the entire league, or in the American League. The Twins are playing a little bit better baseball than what I thought, but they're
same.
Still...
Yeah, we talked about that. We also talked about Shane Bieber having like a not as good year, and then he gets off to one of the greatest starts in MLB history.
You also picked Mike Clevenger to be your Cy Young Award winner, and
yeah, that is. Oh,
to be fair, I picked Tyler Glass now to be my Cy Young Award. I think he has like a 5.
Oh, he had a rough outing. I saw.
Yeah, I think he has a 5 ERA now. I'm trying to.
We're not smart.
The Athletics are playing great baseball, and I kind of predicted that. Kind of surprised how bad the Astros are playing.
It's great. I love it.
I like it.
Michael Brantley's their only good hitter.
Yeah, I like it. It kind of ruins everything that, like, my entire seeding and everything. I still thought they're going to be better. Yeah, I'm looking at their stats right now. Brantley is literally their only good player.
Altuve's been awful. Altuve is just, I don't even know what he's swinging at anymore. Every time I watch the Astros, I'm like, ugh. The Los Angeles Angels continue to not be in the playoff picture with Mike Trout, so that's fun.
It's just the most frustrating thing in the world.
And with the expanded freaking playoffs, there's still like, there's a few teams in front of them.
Yeah. Well, the Kansas City Royals and Detroit Tigers are ahead of them, Matt. That's how bad.
What in the world? What in the world?
And the Toronto Blue Jays and the Astros, who have been horrible. Surprised how bad the Red Sox are playing.
Yeah, that's good. I love that.
Yeah, fine with me though. Very surprised how good the Cubs are playing. Pretty sure
I haven't even been paying. Oh, they're 13-4. What the frick?
Cubs are the best team in the.
Well, I know they smoked us.
Cubs are the best team in the league.
We sucked. Jesus, I know they smoked us. I just thought we were bad. Why are the Miami Marlins 9-4? Why is COVID Central killing it?
That's another one. Like the Marlins and the Rockies. I don't understand why they're playing so good. The Rockies were not on my radar this year whatsoever, and they've been on my radar like the past 3 years. I've been a big Rockies guy the last 3 years, and they let me down. They somehow put it together now. I don't understand why. I mean, Trevor Story's playing great. Charlie Blackmon's hitting 400. Daniel Murphy has finally returned to somewhat form.
Daniel Murphy's such a, like, this dude will bat 330 and no one will even look his way.
I forget how many seasons ago, but like it was like halfway through the season, and he was batting like 350, 360. I was losing my mind every time I saw that stat, and like the commentators were like, "Oh yeah," and Charlie Blackmon comes in today batting 350 on the year. I'm like, "What? What do you mean just 350? Like, That is absurd. We don't see that anymore.
Dude, the Cardinals need to wake up. They're not even showing up to games. It's ridiculous. They are 2-3 at the moment.
Shut up, Matt. Shut up, Matt.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, I'm not very surprised how the National League is going. I mean, the Brewers, I thought they're going to be a little bit better, but Yelich is finally turning around, so that'll be big. Diamondbacks and Mets are playing about what I thought they were going to play. So, I don't know. We're, 20% of the way into the season? No, 30%.
Just about. Yeah, about a third.
Yeah, third of the way.
We
And
20 games down.
And everybody is very close besides the Pirates and the Red Sox to their teams. So, I mean...
and the Indians play the Pirates after the Tigers. That's going to be fun. Or disappointing. Whichever one the Indians decide.
Disappointing.
Yeah, we'll cough a game up to them. And I didn't mean as a joke like COVID, but I meant like we suck.
It was still bad. All right,
yeah.
Matt, new segment on the show. Are you ready for this?
What? Watching Casey drink water?
Previously on Big Brother.
Oh, frick.
Matt,
Big Brother All-Stars 2, baby.
It's been a week since Big Brother 22 has been on the airwaves. So first week, Cody wins HOH, puts Keisha and Kevin on the block. Who wins Power Veto? Enzo wins Power Veto.
The Meow Meow.
The Meow
doubling his competition record.
He's back, baby. He's back. And
heck yeah.
And Keisha gets sent packing home. What's the thoughts on this week? What would you have done differently and anything else?
Keisha would have not gone on the block. Keisha was entertainment central on Big Brother 10. She brought the drama. She brought the high-pitched laugh and yelling. I wanted to hear it. I didn't hear it. I liked Kevin in Big Brother 11. I thought he's a solid player. I thought he was a sneak pick for possibly winning this season, but from what I'm seeing from Kevin so far, he's just whining so much that I'm like, bro, like, get in the game. Like, you're not nominated anymore. Let's go. Cody winning HOH wasn't surprising. What else? Freaking everyone hates Janelle and Kaser for some reason.
I don't understand. Oh, you mean in the house?
Yeah, like everyone's like, dude, we gotta go after those 45-year-olds. They're scaring me.
Well, I don't blame them. I mean, Janelle's probably the best player to never win.
Arguably, but if you took a look at her on Big Brother 14, she wasn't really the comp beast she was back in Big Brother 6 or Big Brother 7.
That's fair.
And like I understand she's still a comp beast, and I'm sure she's still in good enough shape to still compete to some sort of level. But she's like a current day Albert Pujols, and it's like she'll have her moments, and it'll be like, oh, that's fun, but it's just sad at this point. I haven't really seen enough of her to really say that though.
There is zero way that if Janelle goes home that they don't bring her back. I understand that it is illegal to influence a game like that, but production has something up their sleeves.
They've done it before. They've done junk before.
So I should start with, what do you think about the cast? Who do you like? Who do you not like?
Nicole Franzel needs to self-evict as soon as possible.
God. So I was thinking, one, how did they not bring back Brittany and Rachel? I don't understand.
Brittany said no.
Did she?
I know, because she has young kids, and I know one of her kids, I think, was sick. I don't know too much, but I'm pretty sure she's content with just being a mother. I don't know about Rachel. I would have loved to see Rachel because she brings the drama. I love to hate her.
One, I would have loved to see Danielle Reyes come back, but I think she said no just because of all of the recession and everything. I think she said no because she wanted to keep her job. But yeah, if we would have been able to replace Brittany and Rachel for like Bailey and Christmas, I don't know, like
Christmas? What the frick is
why is
doing
she back? She's one of the worst players for one of the worst casts we've ever had.
Yeah.
Like I would have rather.
And they were gonna bring Josh back if it wasn't for him getting the COVID.
Yeah, and I mean they would have brought Casey back, which is fine.
I was fine with Casey. Yeah.
Listen, you either need to have all winners or no winners whatsoever. And if you want to stick with this, oh well, there's some people here to prove it. You can't have winners in the house.
Right. I mean, the winners are Ian, who's a solid winner, and Nicole, who
Who got
didn't deserve to win. Well, Ian didn't
both
deserve
of them?
to
I
win
was about
either.
both of them got carried to their wins.
Ian could have got evicted in so many opportunities. It was just luck.
Yeah, so
But I mean, there's a lot of luck in Big Brother, I guess. But still,
I'm trying to think who would be good besides who we said, because probably listening to Brittany and Janelle talk about Rachel the entire time would be
oh my
phenomenal
god,
for live
that would
feeds.
be hilarious.
Oh, that would be such good live entertainment.
Dude, I'm watching the live feeds and all I hear is literally everyone talking about Janelle. And it's so annoying. And Janelle's not picking up on most of it, and it's ticking me off.
It's now, since she already used her safety thingamabob, the safety room, does she get to use it again, or is it only win it once or only use it once?
It's a one-time use. Once you compete in the safety suite competition, you're done.
That's so. Why did they not double up on it though and just save each other?
That's true, because it's like when she saw Kaser join in on the last second, I would have, if I was Janelle, I would have considered joining if someone else went in.
Sure.
But they both went in, and I'm like, well, you're gonna save each other, so what's the point here?
Exactly.
I don't know. Plus, it made them look bad because they both competed, and Janelle could have played the angle of, well, I didn't want to compete, and I just wanted to respect the HOH and get in good with Cody, that kind of thing. But I don't know.
So I'm trying to think of who good replacements could it be for some of these morons. I feel like who was Cody's girlfriend, or wife now, or whoever. The weird like Marine who would just stare at the camera. Was it Jessica?
Jessica.
I think she would have been a fine. She would have been a fine replacement.
Yeah, she was a smart player. She was a
Um,
pretty smart player that just got freaking annihilated because of all the twists.
let's look at. They probably will never bring anybody back from Big Brother 15 ever.
No, that's too much racism.
Dude, I'm looking at this cast right now, and I don't remember half of these people.
What, Big Brother 15?
Yeah.
If I was to bring back anyone from 15, it would be either. I mean, they probably wouldn't bring back Amanda.
No.
McCrae was cool. I'm pretty sure he's done with Amanda. I would hope.
Definitely
Andy was a solid winner. Oh no! Don't do that.
Would not bring back.
Dude, she's like a family vlogger on YouTube now.
Really?
And she like turns off her comments so no one could just comment and be like, "Hey, you're the racist."
It would absolutely not bring back Gina Marie, because
my god,
that
she
is
was
just a
almost
mess.
worse than Aaron.
You know who they should have brought back? What was
Donnie Thompson from Big Brother 16.
Donnie? No.
Dang it.
I mean, I would have been fine with it, but they could have brought back 3 people from 17: Becky, Vanessa, and
Johnny Mac.
Johnny Mac would have been fine. I'm trying to think who was Rachel Riley's sister. No,
That's
not Alyssa. Not Alyssa. I'm trying to think.
She was in 15.
There was another sister somewhere that played a really good game and just never got the credit. I'm completely.
Vanessa's sister played in Big Brother 18.
Yeah, and she was a good player. If they would have brought back any of those 3, I would have been really fine with that. But no, we get Nicole F., who got rid of Derek. And
we already saw her twice. Like, was anyone asking for a third time with her?
Yeah, to be fair, we got to see Janelle 4 times, but everybody likes Janelle.
Yeah, but people want her.
Yeah.
Nicole was kind of this underdog fan favorite in Derek's season, which I'm like, okay, she's coming back. But once she won, it's like, all right, you're done. No one likes you now, and you won. So go and spend your money.
Out of all of the all-stars or, well-known players, Nicole is probably the most least liked one out of all of them.
For Big Brother fans, absolutely.
Yes. And so more people hate Rachel and Paul, but I'm telling you, less people like Nicole.
Yeah, with Paul, it's kind of hard because I freaking loved him in his first season.
Yeah, me too.
And I was just kind of put into a position that I had to hate him because of how much help he was given the second he came into the house with this twist that is like, all right, here's the twist. Paul, you get to make friends with half the house and save them. So now they're loyal to you. Well, all right.
I didn't like the attitude of Paul his second season. It threw me off a lot. He just came off as a really just...
He's very arrogant.
Yeah. But, I mean, he, I would have even tolerated him on this season. Like, David's fine. I understand, bringing back someone who never had a chance. Justice for
Hmm.
Jody, of course, but
Jody, gosh dang it, Jody should have come back.
I've been rewatching Big Brother 14 again. For
It's
some,
so good. I've watched it. I've rewatched it like 4 times. It's so good.
I don't know which season I'm gonna rewatch next. I think I might rewatch 7 because I don't remember much of 7.
Big Brother, the first All Stars was really good. It's probably my favorite season.
Yeah, but I mean, Christmas was horrible pick. David, I understand it, but it could have picked anybody else. Um,
Grow
Nicole,
some balls, CBS, and bring back Evil Dick.
I don't think Evil Dick's ever gonna be allowed to like ever associate
Beyond,
himself with ever. Um,
especially with Danielle in the house, that would have been
well, the Nicole A or whatever. I didn't watch her season, but it seemed like everybody loved her. So,
It's because everyone else in that season was so unlikable.
oh yeah,
I mean, she was a fun little character, but I mean, I don't think she's the best when it comes to strategy and all that and reading people. But I still think she's like, I mean, you got to have those fun characters. I think she was a fine choice for All Stars. If you're gonna bring back anyone from the last season,
yeah. So Danielle, I was very happy to see her back because I thought she was always a very
yeah.
good player. It's just
Hmm.
that she had the whole evil dick thing attached to her.
Yeah. When Evil Dick left Big Brother 13, dude, Danielle was a vicious and active player in Big Brother 13.
She was good. Now she was in what season was she in before that? Was it 8 or
8.
8?
Hmm.
Even in 8, she was good. She made it
She
to
was a
final two,
comp
right?
beast. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was in Final Two with her dad.
right. I
She
I
won so many competitions.
she's a very underrated player, and I'm happy to see her
Hmm.
back. I think she'll shine this season. I think she's slipping under the radar perfectly right now.
Hmm. She's playing a good game. I mean,
Yeah,
she's aligned with Nicole, which I hate, but I mean, she's talking to the right people and not really being on anyone's radar right now.
right. I mean, so Cody, um, I understand like some people don't like him. I I'm
I'm
a
indifferent.
huge Derek fan, and Derek couldn't have done most of the things. Well, Derek could have done most of the things. He couldn't do some of the most important things without Cody. And
Yeah.
I think Cody played a very good game his season. He's playing a good game right now. If I was
Dude,
him,
Derek was so boring though. Like he's such a smart player, but he was so boring.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, but
But I respect it.
not everybody can be chaotic evil like Dan. You know,
Yes, that's great.
like Derek was lawful good, and he played it that way.
Yeah, he tried to avoid any fight from happening in the house, and Dan's like, "I'm going to cause all these fights to happen, and I'm just going to watch as the target on myself gets shorter." Oh, come on, Derek,
I
be entertaining.
and I but no, I think Cody's playing a good game so far. If I was him this week, I would have. First person I would have knocked out is Davon, because she is so criminally underrated smart. She can poke a
She's
hole.
so smart,
She can poke a hole in anybody's game plan. I don't understand why she was not his first target.
and she's aligning herself pretty well in the house. Like she's
Yeah,
set to make a good run this year.
yes, she is. Yep. So of course we already knocked on Kevin. Whatever. Um, Tyler really digging himself in a hole, but it's like not the worst hole
He's
he can
playing
be
the
in.
same. He's playing the same game he was playing, where he's just like, "I'm gonna talk with everyone and be good with everyone and make these alliances if they come to me." And
Th-
it's working for right now.
that's the thing about Tyler is what people don't understand why he's so good at the game is that he just listens. Like people don't
Yeah,
understand that is just a huge key strategy to this game. Tyler listens and people like talking to Tyler. And when people like talking to
yeah.
Tyler, people like to make deals with Tyler. And yeah, did it screw him last time? Sure. But Tyler played one of the best games ever last season
Hmm.
or 2 seasons ago, and he got to
Yeah.
final two. So if he can do that same exact thing with a bunch of all stars who know how the season's actually or how the game's actually played, and not a bitter
Hmm.
a jury where it was nothing but girl power and a stupid guy named Scotty, maybe he might win.
Wait, did Scotty vote for Casey?
Scotty voted for Casey.
Oh,
Rockstar voted for
Scotty.
Casey.
Dude, I wanted to like Scotty so many different times in that season, but he was just an idiot in so many times
Yeah,
that it's like it's hard to root for you.
yeah. Bailey, I could care less about Bailey.
I was not a fan of Bailey her first season, but she seems to have toned it down a bit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how long she'll last in the house. I mean, I don't think she's an immediate threat. She'll be here a while, I
She'll be a
think.
floater. She wasn't good when she was in the house. When
Nah, she immediate. I mean, you could blame it on being with Swaggy C right away, but he kind of got booked right away. So I mean,
Yeah.
she still had a few weeks without him.
All right, so we already hit on Nicole. Memphis is my number one guy this year.
Oh,
I
really?
Well, I don't know about number one. It's him, Tyler, and Enzo as the three guys that I'm rooting for.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, eh, we'll throw Janelle in there as well.
Yeah. What
Uh,
about Kaser?
I'm indifferent to Kaser. Kaser might pull a season 14 Frank this year,
Ooh,
and
what a comp.
he'll get the book thrown at him a lot and just keep winning comps and
Mm-hmm.
surviving inch by inch each week. I could definitely see that as Kaser's MO this year, or I
I'm
could
just
see
thinking he's playing way too hard, too fast right now, though.
yeah,
That's Kaser's problem.
yeah, I agree. But no, I think Memphis and Cody are gonna go far in this game just because they are.
Mm,
I mean,
they're gonna be
they're
tough
so
to beat.
good. Enzo is playing such a very Enzo's playing a great game so far.
Dude, I was so scared about Enzo because I'm like, he was like he built this little guys strong alliance where everyone trusted each other, and it seems like he's found it this season too, where it's like he's got Tyler, he's got Cody, he's got Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
and no one's really like even thinking about going after Enzo.
Enzo's another one. People love Enzo in that house. Like Enzo is
Hmm.
so entertaining to those people. You watch those
He's
live.
just naturally funny. Anything he
Yeah,
says.
he's such a likable guy.
Hmm.
I mean, I Ian, if Ian can get kicked out any sooner in this house, it would make me happy.
I,
Uh,
I, I don't mind Ian. He's a
I don't
little.
I don't mind the person Ian. I like rewatching. I'm rewatching 14, and Ian the person is fine. Ian the winner sucks because he acts like he did everything.
Oh yeah, that was bad. He was. I blame Dan more than I blame Ian though, because Dan could have rebutted so many of Ian's points in those final speeches,
He could have.
but he just didn't bring it up like that. Ian could have been. He probably would have been the first one out after Jody, because he was like rubbing everyone the wrong way. But then Boogie won the coaches comp and saved Ian for the week. If it
Hmm.
wasn't for that, he was gone.
Yeah,
That's the one thing that's huge. So like you're gonna talk about Dan getting a head start because he was a coach, but bro, you had a week where you were the target.
dude. As I'm rewatching, I was like, "Holy cow!" Frank and Ian were like almost out of the door week one. Like, how different would that season have been if Frank and Ian like didn't
Yeah.
like got kicked out back to back?
And how stupid is that house for not getting rid of Dan's third player and getting Dan out of the game when you knew there was like a 99% chance the coaches were coming back?
Mm-hmm.
Get him out. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy they didn't, because we got all of Dan's shenanigans.
Yeah, if
Oh,
we got the best play in Big Brother history in the funeral, and
and Frank got boned.
well, I mean, it was mainly Brittany and then Frank.
Yeah. Well, it was gonna be Ian if he didn't win that veto, because Dan said he wanted to take Ian out if he didn't win that extra veto from that Pandora's box thing. See, Ian had a lot of help, man.
Ian did get a lot of help.
Dan should have brought this up.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Dan had like 4 weeks of immunity, but
True.
it was immunity that he couldn't. No,
But was it immunity though? Because what, 3 people left the house and then 4 people came right back in with the coaches. So it's like, and it was still 12 players, which was which a usual season is,
right?
right? So was it really much of a head start
No, I
than
guess
any
not.
other?
And
Yeah.
he could have been kicked out without any game plan whatsoever because of Dan if they put Danielle on the block.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's how good Dan is that we come back to him even when he's not in the season.
And there were so many rumors that he was coming back this season. Oh, I was so disappointed.
Man, that's the thing though is if Dan comes back, he's priority target number one.
There's no way. And I heard there was going to be Derek and Dan both coming back, and I'm like, okay, well that's good for the one that survives week one.
Right, and then the other one that
It
gets
was
kicked
literally
out.
one or the other.
Right.
One of the two was going home. And that's like, how the heck did Dr. Will fly under the radar in the first All Stars when he was considered the best player and he was the only winner in that season?
Well, he didn't. It's not only that he flew under the radar, but what I remember from Big Brother All Stars was him specifically wearing shirts saying "Do not trust me," or like something along those lines. And he's still just dishing out deals with everybody and making these gameplay procedures just like, oh, so good.
And he like aligned the whole house against all those season 6 players that came back. Dr. Will's great, man.
And he helped
he's a
and he
legend.
helped carry Boogie to the winner of that.
True. Yeah, man. What the heck? I mean, Boogie played an okay game. He's kind of in the Cody. He was the Cody to Derek. Like he did stuff, but he wasn't carrying the load.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I haven't been watching the live feed, so I'm not sure who's up this week.
I already know stuff, but I'll keep it to myself.
That sounds good. But no, I mean, if I was in the house, Davon and I'd say Davon and no, Davon would absolutely be target number one. After that, there's a lot of floaters in this. Of course, you want to get rid of Nicole because no one can stand her.
Just for your sanity, just take a week and get her out of here.
I'd say Davon and Ian are my two priority number ones. So,
dude, Davon's so good.
She is. She's so smart.
And no one's taking her seriously because she was second out her first season, and then she was the first person in jury the next season.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like she's in a perfect situation where you got all these players that finished so high where everyone's like, oh, we gotta get rid of this guy. He came in third. And it's like Davon's there, and she's just gonna she's got the path to victory.
Well, her second season when they're doing the twin twist, she got that down immediately. She called that out, and then what she was doing, like right at the beginning of this season, was she was staying up in the HOH room as long as possible, so Enzo couldn't form an all guys alliance. And it's just like, it's the small simple things like that where you're
right.
You're not doing
it's
anything.
Intuition,
right? It's just
she's good, and she's entertaining as frick. Like I can't wait for a Davon fight to happen because that'll be entertaining as frick.
Who do you think her fight's gonna be with? I could absolutely see her
Tyler.
fighting with Cody.
Tyler's
too likable.
Yeah, but Bailey fought with Tyler and had her mouth bleeding.
Bailey though.
I
could absolutely see Davon and Cody going at it.
Oh yeah, I just need to see it happen.
I could see Davon and Christmas fighting.
Dude, I need Janelle and Nicole to start fighting already because all they're doing is talking trash about each other 24/7 to everyone else in the house, and they both know that they're talking trash about each other. One of them needs to get power and just squash it out in public, please.
Dude, my favorite thing about Enzo right now is him just reacting every single time Nicole is crying. It has been the funniest thing in the world. He's like every time he's just like sitting in the kitchen. He's just like, is she crying again? Like it's been so fun to pay attention to.
Dude, I turned on the live feeds randomly, and Nicole was crying in like the bathroom area. Enzo's like, "Oh, you all right?" Like trying to be nice, and then he leaves, and then he goes into the kitchen. He's like, "It's day effing 2. How is she crying already?"
Yep.
Like no one's even nominated yet.
This is
Enzo.
So this is a fun season. It's just not all-star enough for me. Like there's a lot of interesting players in this, but it's just not the all-star.
Dude, I was like, how the heck did you all get Kaser back for a third time? That was unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Keisha was unexpected. Memphis? Nah, I can kind of see Memphis coming back.
I'm so disappointed.
Enzo was a pleasant surprise. I never thought I'd see Enzo back.
I'm disappointed that Keisha went out because like you were saying, she was such a good player.
Keisha's birthday is one of the greatest moments in Big Brother history.
Yeah, and then, all right, so that's
you know who should have got another chance?
Hit me,
Mr. Pectacular Jesse, underrated Big Brother player and entertaining as frick. He was a good player, man.
I mean, his only issue is he got on the wrong side of Dan. Like that was his downfall. But no,
then he came back the next season and he got boned by that stupid coup d'etat twist that saved Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, poor Jesse.
No, yeah, I agree, and that's another thing I want to talk about. Well, not exactly that, but out of everything that I've ever hated out of Big Brother, the thing that I hate the most is the first and second week HOH is talking about, well, I don't want to get blood on my hands yet. There's no blood!
Literally everyone's like, well, you gotta nominate 2 people.
Right. believe it or not, you're gonna get on someone's bad side because you have to nominate them. But there's no
Yeah,
blood. Like, come
that's
on, shut up.
it's
Take
like
this
all right,
opportunity, take out the strongest
right.
player there, and shut up.
All right, so week one HOH. Worst case scenario, you nominate 3 people. And then one of them's leaving. So at worst, 2 people are going to be mad at you out of 16 people in the house. So you're going to have 2 people mad at you, and you're going to have everyone else who's like, oh, thank God he didn't nominate me. And that gives you the perfect opportunity to make all these alliances and all these deals. You can pick and choose who you want to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like, I hate when people do that. Like, obviously, it's a hard decision. It's hard every week to pick 2 people to nominate, unless you obviously have a grudge against someone.
Sure.
It's always going to be tough, and you're always going to have that. But it's like, if you're gonna have the least amount of blood on your hands for an HOH, either have a huge target that everyone wants out of the house or be HOH week one.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, like for example, for example, like week 1 of like season 18, my very first 2 people I would have put on the block would be Victor and Frank, without a doubt,
Oh,
because they are the 2 strongest players
I would
by
have been
far.
ticked.
By far. Season 17 would have been Austin and I forgot about Awkward Jeff. It would have probably been Austin and Clay.
Yeah.
Or,
Clay.
Or
Yeah.
Austin and Jace. One of the 2. Any single one of those players that I can feel would play a strong comp game, I want them gone. Social game, you can get around by winning comps. You cannot get around getting someone out if they're just a beast at comps. It's close to impossible. Look at Frank.
He almost won. He was so close to winning that thing.
Yeah.
If he survived one more week, all he had to do was win HOH, and then he had it set, man. Freaking Dan. Gosh dang it.
Most annoying thing about Big Brother HOHs. So, but however, Matt, we got an email into the show.
Email. No freaking way.
And it deals with Big Brother.
Who?
Would you like me to read it to you?
Is this Julie Chen Moonves?
It is not. I will read it to you.
What is this? Someone actually watches.
Want to talk about it? Because I haven't talked to you the entire time, and you didn't campaign. You are a piece of crap. I cannot on my daughter's birthday believe that you would sit here and do some crap like that. You are a bold-faced disgusting. I haven't talked to you in 3 days. You didn't campaign to me. I cannot. Disgusting. I can't believe on my daughter's birthday that you would drag my name through the mud like this. You are disgusting. Do you understand? Man. That's fine because the public saw who I voted out and it was you. And we'll get you out again. So that's cute. That's real cute. That's cute. That's cute. Real cute.
Freaking. Thanks to Rockstar for emailing in on the show. Oh, man, we could have had Brett back. Brett was entertaining. Dude, I thought beginning of the season Brett was going to be that annoying frat boy that I hated. But he was so freaking funny. Oh, man. That would have been good. Oh, Mr. Zach Rance. Yeah, that guy. He's entertaining, but he's trying way too hard. Dude, I heard they offered him, and he said no. And I was like, oh, thank you. He heard the people. I'm sure there's still a small group of people that likes him, but when he called himself a social media mogul, that's when it was over for me. Okay. Yes. Oh, the Will with one L? Yeah. Okay. Pick your own player. I didn't hate Will from 1L that much. I thought he was all right. He had some funny moments. Well, Frankie had some funny moments too, but he had way too many arrogant, annoying, just shut the heck up moments. Dude, Frankie was so annoying. Frankie Grande. That might be him. Okay, yeah, that's what I look like a shoulder. He led with the shoulder. Giannis-esque. Okay. Like what? What do you got? Mm, that's on Joe though. Joe told Frank that, I think, the chef, who we headbutted. And then Frank just spread the information because he was already ticked at Willie. So it's on both of them. No, no, yeah. I mean, he could have handled it better. Like talk one on one with Willie and say, "Hey, is this true?" And then Willie could have been like, "Yo, I know this is going around, but Will, I didn't do that," or something like that. But obviously, it didn't happen. Willie has the fuse about this big. But let's see this. Willie and Frank made a deal that they were going to work together. And then the coaches came in and then they were like, you got to nominate Frank. And he's like, ah, frick. So he nominates Frank. And then he's like, no, but you're good though. You're safe. And then the coaches come in and they're like, dude, I think we got to split the vote as close as possible to make it look thing. And then Willie's like, I'm trying to make you safe here, Frank. So Frank's obviously has the right to be ticked. They both just handled it poorly and they were both angry and they both just blew up at each other, and it resulted in the only good Ian moment. That's hilarious when they were fighting in the backyard, and then Ian's like, "I'm gonna make a DiGiorno. Does anyone want to split it?" Just in the middle of a fight. Such a good moment. Right. Hmm. That's true. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get it anytime soon. Yes, obviously that needs to that happens every day. Oh, Steve. What about Cameron? Does Cameron get any love? Does anyone remember Cameron? Was he Big Brother? Maybe. I honestly don't know. He's a skinny dude with glasses. I think he was their Ian of the year. Yeah, but Jody and frickin' who's that other dude? Steve. Those two need to come back. There's been. Oh, all right. What? No, I got nothing. I'm just spitballing here. What do you got? Abs. Oh my god. Okay, dude. I had a love hate relationship with Helen. Helen was such an underrated player. She was so good. I want to think she was pushed, but the way she fell, it seemed like I didn't even know. I go back and forth, man. I'm gonna believe, yeah, she was pushed because I want to believe it because she would have won. Don't don't you see someone in the background when in that little hole? So it's very possible he could have just went yoink. Oh yeah, oh frick. And I'm looking at how she fell, dude. I feel like I'm reviewing a. I think that was just a guy that takes like helps put up the sets and whatever, and he's just like, I'm waiting to for this thing to be over. So I mean, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna keep it going. Helen was pushed by an airbender. Holy frick! Yeah, I forgot when you said, "What are you watching?" I'm watching Big Brother live feeds, and then my brother's making me watch Star Wars. That's about it. USB? What? All right. What's your favorite USB drive? I'm gonna go second to the left. Oh frick! Is it the NFL one? Boo doo 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 doo. Boom, baby. Oh frick! Gotcha. Oh, he's got a coin. Oh, never mind. He has a phone. I'm like, you have a coin in the year 2020? You can just say, "Hey Siri, flip a coin." Oh frick! Well, I can do it. Oh, you got. He's got it. Tails never fails, baby. Heck yeah, yeah, baby. We're doing a Kevin Durant draft. All right. So before we started recording, you said if I get this guy, it's over. But I tell you what, I'm seeing, I've got some good scouts, and we're seeing some hidden talents here that I'm thinking maybe you won't pick up on. So I'm gonna give you the first overall pick. Don't do it. Oh, you. Oh, thank God I gave you the pick. Whew. How so? Okay. Can I get some examples? Just right away. You were like, no. After Jim and okay, got it. Oh God, are you gonna? No, I yeah, I get that. Most of it's on Roy, I would say. This. Oh, mama, this is. Oh, absolutely right. He, I don't know. Okay, not right away. He had a little bit of a downfall before the rise. Okay. Oof. Yeah, I'm not even giving up on art school. What the frick? What happens? I don't know. Right. Hmm. At some point, obviously. Yeah. To be fair, you were wasting money whether she got that art degree or not. Just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Right. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Athlete. Yeah. Oh, oh boy. Oh, dude. I'll get back to the points you just made. But all right. I did. I'll be honest. You pulled a 2006 NFL draft. Everyone in the world was thinking Reggie Bush, and you went freaking Mario Williams. All right. I didn't even have Pam on my list. I thought Pam as a character throughout this entire show was, she had growth. She went through down times. She had her good times. Maybe also you didn't point this out, but the way she treated Karen when Jim
Karen,
was dating Karen,
yeah, the way she did treat Karen.
dude, a
Uh,
lot of people hate on Karen, and it's like she's in a relationship with Jim, and she had no idea Jim had this little thing with Pam until way later.
right.
So I don't get the hate for Karen. Honestly, I don't.
No, I don't. I mean, Karen was a little weird with her relationship and all that, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no,
Who isn't?
right.
Yeah. All right. First pick, baby. You gave. Listen. You gave me the worst character in The Office, and
Okay.
I thank you. It's Pete Miller, aka Plop. He's the worst. He is the most boring, bland, forgettable character. Can you even remember Plop?
Yeah,
Do you even know who he
he
is?
was Walmart Jim.
Yeah, exactly. His only purpose in this show was to be like, all right, frick, Pam and Jim are together. Now we've written him to be on the edge of divorce. We need something. We already ruined Andy's character. I guess we'll freaking Pete will get in a relationship with Aaron. And it's like if you ask some random person on the street who's never written or performed comedy in their life to be like, hey, we need you to write a character like Jim. Can you do it? It's Plop. He brings nothing to the freaking table. Pete is the most useless character and is the perfect representation of what the post Michael Scott era of The Office is all about.
Okay,
It's bland.
I wouldn't have picked Plop as my number one, but it's good. I mean,
No, it's
like you said, like
listen.
he's so
It's a safe pick.
unforgettable, but he's not hateable.
Yes, he is. He's so boring where you're watching it, you're like, this is a comedy show, and why am I wasting my time with this character when there's so many other characters still here that I care way more about?
Okay,
And I hate it.
all right, understandable.
There you go.
All right, your next pick.
Oh yeah, I got another pick. Frick. All right. I'm not going down that route. I think you might. I'm gonna go down. Okay, this is gonna be a little controversial here, or maybe not. I'm going Andy Bernard,
Fine
but I'm
take.
focusing.
Fine
I'm
take.
focusing mainly on Andy Bernard after the boat trip is what ticks me off because Andy was probably one of my favorite characters. Maybe not when they were in the what was it, the Stanford branch or whatever they were in, but once he got over to Dunder Mifflin, he punched the wall. He made a comeback greater than when Adrian Peterson tore his ACL and came back and was the rushing leader.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Andy Bernard was one of my favorite characters, and even when he was the new boss for a little bit, he was very likable. When he got that little Nard dog tattoo,
Yeah.
that was a good time. But when he
Yeah.
left to go film The Hangover, gosh dang it, or was it might have been one of the sequels of the Hangover movies. But anyways, when he came back and just became the most unlikable, unfunny, irredeemable person in the world, he was probably the worst character in The Office, in my opinion, when he came back from the boat trip.
And even during his times where he like right after they came from or when they came to Scranton and he was kissing up to Michael and that was unbearable. I agree. Andy Bernard, horrible character. Maybe a little
but Andy Bernard in his prime is probably top 5 character for me though.
Fair. Absolutely fair. He's
but him at his worst is like the worst.
I agree.
So there you go, baby.
So with my next pick, I'm surprised that Clark dropped to me because you want to talk about Pete being boring and bland. Clark is not only boring and bland, but he's annoying and he's just a stupid character. It's just another, oh hey, let's make Dwight, but like not even a Walmart knockoff, like a Goodwill knockoff of Dwight. It was so bad. He's so annoying. He's not a likable character whatsoever. That whole plot line with him and Jan was stupid.
Oh god.
I hate everything about Clark.
I don't know. I thought Clark brought some funny moments. I found myself like, because I was with you before I did my latest rewatch of The Office, and Clark had some funny moments. The whole thing where he was going to take Erin to his apartment to photograph her for a fake news audition was a little much for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Clark had some funny moments, and I think the look is definitely like, hey, knock off Dwight. This is exactly what a mini Dwight would look like. But I think he had a different kind of character than what Dwight was. I think they're totally different characters. And I think that episode where Dwight and Clark went together on a sail as father and son was a really good episode.
Okay. All right.
So you
My
know what?
next pick.
Oh, what's he got? What's he got?
So I feel like this one's. I don't want to make it. I don't want to pick the obvious one here because I feel like he might fall. So instead, we're gonna go with Robert California. Robert California is such a horrible character. He's not funny.
Oh,
He's not wise.
yes, he is.
He's not charismatic. The whole "I'm the Lizard King" that's annoying. One, he's a horrible boss. Two,
Absolutely.
he's not a likable character whatsoever. I don't understand anything about how people like him.
I don't know. Robert California is another one of those guys where he has a few really good moments. That whole episode where they went to his house to throw a party before he got kicked out of it, that was a really weird episode. I'll be real. I only have faint memories of it, but it didn't really do much for me. But when Robert California first came into the show, I think he was really good. But I think he overstayed his welcome for sure. I think he definitely was like a maybe like 4 or 5 episode kind of character. That's what I'm going to go with.
So, quickly, this moment popped in my head, but going back to Andy Bernard, the episode where Michael is negotiating the insurance with the Italian guy and Andy Bernard dresses up as a mechanic is one of the funnier moments in the show. But go ahead. All right, your next 2 picks.
That's such a good episode. That reminds me of when freaking Michael Scott was ordering his food, and after the Italian dude's like, I'll have some bread. If it's burnt, I send it back. And then Michael's like, I'll give a side salad. If the salad's on top, I send it back. And then he's like, I'll have the gabagool.
The gabagool. It's like, I don't know what that is.
And then Dwight's like, give him the gabagool. Oh, that's a good episode. All right, back to trash. Let me see. I don't think you've taken a single character on my list so far. It's crazy. All right, you know what? Since you brought it up, I'm going to take him. How's about Brian, a.k.a. who the heck is Brian, you might be asking yourself. Okay. He's the boom microphone operator that breaks the fourth wall more than that show already broke it to be in love with Pam during Pam and Jim's annoying time when they were hating each other.
Mm-hmm.
That is a useless character. I think it kind of broke the whole flow of like we get that they're talking to the cameras, but to see Pam interacting with one of the crew members, just it totally doesn't work for me, and it doesn't even pay off. It's not like Jim ever even gets all that mad about the dude. It gets brought up one time, and he's like, "Huh, that's weird." Like it's not even that big of a payoff. Where were they going with this? It seemed rushed. It seemed incomplete, and I don't know where they were going with it. And it was just annoying, and it wasted time in the last season.
Okay,
so Brian, the mic operator.
He was gonna be one of my later round picks, but I'm fine losing him here.
I opened Notepad and it was right there, and I went with it.
Okay.
So do I get another pick, or do you
get
go?
Another pick?
What do we got? I need a hot take pick. That's what I need. Oh, baby, this is a hot take pick. Holly Flax.
Ooh.
Holly Flax. Let me just say, her character only exists to progress Michael's story, and she falls flat when trying to compare to Michael Scott with the craziness and the randomness. And it just looks like a toned down, like Michael Scott if he was hit with 18 tranquilizer darts when it comes to comedy. And that's nothing against her. You're going up and with Steve Carell, one of the funniest guys in the world, right? And he's like locked into his character, and she's supposed to just hop in and be the same kind of person. It doesn't work with me. I don't see why. I don't buy the whole Michael Scott thinks Holly Flax is this perfect person. I don't buy Holly thinking Michael's this great person. I don't buy the relationship. And it's just a reminder that Michael Scott leaves the show and the show becomes a lot worse. and I'm blaming Holly Flax, and I'm blaming her father who has some kind of dementia, and they need to move. So you know what? You freaking he already forgot about you. So why do you have to go visit him?
So that's a poor take, because Holly is a very genuine person in the show.
No, I got that.
She's funny, she's charismatic, and she's likable. Now, the whole part about Progressive Michael's storyline, yeah, that's understandable. But every character ever brought in after the characters that are set from the first episode are meant to progress a character's storyline.
No, but that's their sole, like that's their only purpose of existing. It's not expanding the world. If anything, it's retracting the world by taking away the main character. Like there, Andy Bernard, he was more than just progressing someone's character when he was introduced.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So I needed a hot take because I know not a lot of people say Holly's one of the worst characters. So I figured, you know what, let's spice some stuff up here.
All right, for my next two. How many more you want to do? Because what you have, so you have.
I should probably delete these as I draft them.
Let's get this all out. So you have Pete.
Yeah.
Holly.
Andy.
Thank you.
The microphone dude, Brian.
And then I have Pam. Clark. Robert California.
Oh yeah, Robert California.
All right.
Let me just say, none of the people you've taken are on my list.
All right, so how many do you want to go up to? How many do you have?
Dude, how many more you got?
How many? I have an entire cast. How many do you have?
Dear God. We can do like 4 or 5 more if you want.
4 or 5 more each? All right, so with my next two.
All right.
Number 1 is Oscar Martinez.
Oh, he was a borderline on me. He almost made the list, but...
You want to talk about someone, when I talked about Pam as she was condescending, you want to talk about someone who's absolutely condescending to everybody who's around in their immediate area. Oscar Martinez is that person. He looks down on everybody. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room when he's not. He purposely he purposely ruins Angela and the state senator's relationship.
Yeah.
Just all around, just not a good person.
Especially when he was one of the people to be like, "Oh, Angela, what you did with Dwight is so disgusting," and then he goes around and does the same stuff. Heck is that, Oscar?
The one that annoys me the most is when he kept calling Pam and Jim on their vacation.
Ugh, just because stuff was going on in the office.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
That's the thing. Okay, Oscar Martinez, folks.
All right. It's late now. I gotta pick probably the most unlikable character when it comes down to unlikable characters. Gabe Lewis.
I know.
Absolutely
sucks.
Oh,
he's picking Gabe!
Absolutely sucks. Who are you thinking I was gonna pick? You know what? Never mind. Surprise me.
No.
Gabe Lewis absolutely sucks. He's not funny. His character's not funny whatsoever. His character is horrible. His character is literally only meant to be the antithesis of Andy and then eventually Dwight. You want to talk about characters that are brought in just to progress a character's storyline. Doesn't progress any character storyline whatsoever. He's just supposed to be the antithesis of those two guys.
And he's just in an annoying relationship with Aaron that no one buys ever.
Nobody ever wants to see that. No. One of those horrible kiss-ups to Joe. It's just all around horrible, horrible character.
All right. Gabe Lewis. I respect that. All right. You ready for this? This is the character I thought you were going to take. Nellie Bertram.
Good one.
Is not a good character. Listen, she had a few moments when she was already integrated in the last season. Maybe it was just because that whole season was pretty mediocre other than the season finale. But there were a few moments with Nellie that I liked. I liked that whole little thing where everyone was going to be mean to her. But then Dwight and Jim find out she has this sad past with like a magician or something. And then a magician comes. I thought that was good. But everything when she was, what was it? That Florida trip they went to, she was awful. I hate it. It was weird. Why is Todd Packer and Dwight trying to seduce this not even attractive woman? I'm sorry.
No,
I don't mean to be rude, but I'm sorry.
No, you're completely right.
I don't see it. She had a couple funny moments, but most of the time she tries to be funny. It just bombs for me.
She's a good late round pick there. I respect it.
Yeah, Nellie Bertram, man. Oh, I got another one. Do I go for another hot take? Still got one more after, a few more after. Okay, let's go. Are you ready for this? Jim Halpert, after he joins Athlete. All right, this is where I was like, I'm gonna get to this later. You want to blame Pam for everything? You want to blame Pam for being this awful person? How about Jim, this guy who lost all his charm, all his relatability, all his likable characteristics? That moment when he lived with Daryl, when they were living together. First of all, he's drinking out of his cup. That's what is that? It's got his dang name on it, and then he's making a mess everywhere. Daryl's not liking it, and Jim. I almost called him John Krasinski, and Jim gets all ticked when he's like, "Whoa, Daryl, just relax. I thought this was going to be fun," but then Daryl's just like, "Dude, freaking take care of your junk." All right, and then the moment that ticks me off so much, the moment when Pam was trying to record Cece's recital, and she got a call, and then she hung up, and it didn't record, and then she tells Jim about it later, and he gets mad that she didn't record it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Who's Mr. Busy Bee worker guy? And he gets so upset at Pam for not knowing how to work a phone when you knew she didn't know how to work a phone. Why didn't you give more better instructions?
What
Why
do
are
you
you
mean she
taking
didn't know how to work a phone? It's the 21st
Listen,
century.
What year was it? What year was it? All right, this isn't freaking iPhone time. This was the early stages of smartphones. Let me just say. And Jim just completely blows up at her and says this is all her fault and doesn't take any accountability that he was too busy with work to freaking go to his own daughter's dance recital that was such a big deal apparently. All right, Jim, why don't you take some freaking, and I'm not saying Pam's at completely at fault. Like, dude, like freaking make sure you record it. It's kind of a big thing for Jim not to miss this. But why does Jim just got to be completely a jerk about it? All right.
It was 2013.
2013. That's like iPhone what, 4?
Smartphones are at like a good point. Yeah. No, Pam gets 0 passes for not knowing how to work a phone.
No, this was 2013. Not everyone had a smartphone yet. All right. And not everyone was an expert, just automatically it's in their head. I know everything about smartphones. Kick rocks, man.
A grown adult should.
When you grow up like Pam does, she didn't grow up with smartphones like we grew up with all this technology. She grew up
I didn't have a smartphone until I was in college.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Quit ruining my points here, dude. Just let me freaking have this moment. All right? She's a grown adult. She doesn't like learning new things. Obviously, she failed art school. So, can you blame her?
So, I would have said, if you would have said the first half of the show, Jim was a bad person, I would have agreed.
Really?
Jim
Why?
was only there at Dunder Mifflin to get a paycheck and make mainly Dwight's life crap.
Oh, yeah.
But
that's the one thing I didn't like about Jim and Pam early was they both had these little talks in between that they thought they were so much better than everyone else in the office. Yeah. And it's like, and then there was that one scene where they were on the booze cruise and Roy was with Amy Adams. I forget her name, but it was Amy Adams when Jim was dating her.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and they were supposed to be like, oh, we're the popular girls, and Jim and Pam are supposed to be, oh, we're the quirky freaking couple here, and it's like, no, you guys act like you're better than everyone else the whole time you're at work, so I don't want to hear it.
No, yeah, like early seasons, Jim's was just there to torment Dwight, and him and Pam just talk about how they're so much better than each other. Late season Jim is a guy who's working hard to create a better future for his family and his daughter, and
it's all for that. It's not because this is a lifelong dream of his, which obviously sure. You should still follow your dreams, but
absolutely.
You got to understand that's going to take a toll on freaking Pam, and it's different because in art school now she has a kid to worry about. Or did they have 2 kids at that point, or I think they only had the Cece was the first kid.
Yeah.
There's a kid in the mix that is freaking here. Like when you're a parent, your dreams are crushed. Like, I'm sorry, you should have done this earlier, my dude. Now it's over. So yeah, Jim ticks me off.
All right,
late season Jim.
All right, you left me in a weird spot.
Why were you gonna take Jim after he left?
I wasn't gonna take Jim, but I don't know where to go from here. All right, so we'll go with the easy one, Toby.
Whoa, okay.
Toby, he's a very bland person who doesn't like to have any fun whatsoever. I understand some of the stuff was a safety and harassment concern, but there's a lot of stuff that just let the people have some fun there.
True, yeah.
And he was not an interesting character whatsoever. I understand that they try to make him as bland as possible.
Yeah.
But even when you're bland, try and make him at least somewhat, somewhat likable. I didn't like his whole Pam chasing thing.
Oh god.
Why
did they
weird.
make Pam have a little crush on Toby too? That just was what? No, Pam. You do not have a crush on Toby.
No.
I don't believe you. Stop saying that.
No. Probably one of my favorite lines in the entire show is it was like Toby's part of corporate, so he's not part of our family. Toby's also divorced, so he's not a part of his family.
That was like the first time Toby got introduced.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say about Toby is like he kind of served his purpose with being the complete polar opposite of Michael, which I was fine with. But once Michael left, there was either no point of Toby being on the show, or they should have just pulled a complete and total like 360 and changed his character completely now that Michael's gone. And they didn't go either route. They just made him boring with no one to really yell at him. So it's like, why are you here, Toby?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of freaking going to claw machines to win Pam a dang stuffed animal, she's a grown woman. You need to freaking go take care of your freaking daughter and give that stuffed animal to her. That ticked me off.
All right. For my next pick.
Oh boy.
You know what? We're gonna go on the same route of people thinking they're better than everybody else. Stanley Hudson.
Ooh.
Stanley Hudson is another one. Shows up to work. Think he's better than every single one of his coworkers ever. Thinks he's the best person to ever walk through that building. Okay. And he doesn't like when they have fun. I get it, Stanley. You think all the meetings are pointless. I get it. That's understandable. I think some of the meetings that I've went to are pointless. Everybody thinks that some of the meetings they've gone to are pointless. That part's understandable. But there's a fine line where no, it's not fine. I'm sorry, it is not a fine line.
Take a stance.
There is a hard line between having fun and being counterproductive. Stanley Hudson is on the side of he doesn't want anybody to have fun. I can understand the point where, he wants to just go there and make his money, make his commission, whatever. No. Have some fun while you're at it. Your coworkers are having fun. You have some fun too.
And you know another thing, Stanley? You're all about, I just want to do my job and get home. Shut the frick up. You're always doing your dang crossword puzzles, not getting any freaking work done.
Yeah.
All right, Stanley? So now you're not having fun and you're not being productive. So what are you bringing to the table, Stanley, other than taking all the dang pretzels?
The thing I don't like most about Stanley is how after the show, his actor who portrays him, I can't think of his name, but he, out of all the office cast, he is hanging on to Stanley the most out of all the people who are hanging on to their characters.
Did you see his Kickstarter?
Yeah, Uncle Stan, the TV show.
No way! What the frick is that?
And I like how he can't be Uncle Stanley because that's a copyright issue.
Yeah.
Or
you don't think Uncle Stan's gonna cause a little trouble over at NBC? You think that's gonna fly by? What a way to freaking capitalize off of The Office and just basically steal money from Office fans, because there is no way this show is happening. And if it is, it's gonna have the production quality of a freaking mediocre YouTube series. There's no way this gets picked up on the ground or does anything.
It'll look like a sitcom from 2006.
Oh my god, I saw that. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And he charges way too much on Cameo. Let me just say, freaking $300. No, you're not that cool.
5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so 2 more for you, and then 1 more for me.
Oh, I got 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You know what? We're going. This is tough. I'm just gonna go with an easy one. D'Angelo Vickers.
Yeah.
All right. He's bland. He's insensitive. Michael Scott was insensitive, but he wasn't trying to be on purpose. And Michael Scott had a lot of selfish moments, but he still cared for everyone at the office, probably a little too much. And with D'Angelo Vickers, this guy was insensitive, and he was meaning to be insensitive. He's just a piece of trash. He also had his selfish moments, and he only pretended to care about the coworkers if it made him look better. Like, this guy is a piece of trash. He's a terrible Michael Scott replacement. He brings none of the humor and all of the no productivity's going on in this branch with D'Angelo. He can't even make a sale. Remember that episode with him and Andy going out trying to save a sale? That didn't work. D'Angelo Vickers, what a waste of Will Ferrell. Do you have a ghost in your house or something, bro?
Something just fell on my leg. And I don't like that.
What was it that fell on your leg?
I don't know, but something just fell on my leg.
It was Will Ferrell.
Like, I just saw something on the corner of my eye hit my leg, and I don't know what it is.
Dude, did you ever see that movie Unfriended?
Was that the one where, like, they're all, like, on a Skype call or something? I
Yeah,
did
then,
not
like,
see
creepy
it.
stuff happens and they get killed off one at a time.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
see it. I saw the preview for it, but is it any good?
Dude, it's freaking terrifying. Like, that's a scary freaking movie.
Are you being serious?
No, it is scary, dude.
Huh.
I thought it was scary. I thought it was gonna be trash, but it was actually really good.
All right, so you have D'Angelo, and who will your last pick be?
Ooh, I gotta pick between 1, 2, 3. I got 5 people. Okay, I'm just gonna pick Kevin Malone. And I'm focusing on, he is no longer a gambler. He is just a complete. The Office writers decided to go the Homer Simpson, Peter Griffin, and Patrick Starr freaking route and just make him a complete idiot that's completely unbelievable. He's basically a 2-year-old with freaking autism at this point. And they try to make him special needs. He loses all this freaking, like, mystique about him. Like, oh shoot, like that stuff where he was like this amazing poker player, this guy addicted to gambling, while also being like just the right amount of creepy to be funny. But now he's just like a 2-year-old saying boobies all the time, and it's like, it can be funny sometimes, but it got old really quick. And then they expect me to believe he owns a bar in the last episode. Like, no, he cannot run a bar from what you built this character to be. No, I don't believe it.
And out of all the stupid plot lines I've ever heard, him creating his own number called Clever.
What?
Excuse me?
Like I remember watching that, and I remember the rewatch, and I'm just like, I was like, this was my face the whole time. I'm like, wow, friggin' cool. A freaking made up number. It's so believable.
No.
Kevin was such a good character in the early on, and he just progressively got worse. So, I mean, Kevin still had his funny moments late, but it got really repetitive and old really quick. So, sorry, Kevin, but go make some chili or something. I don't freaking know.
All right, so I have the final pick, huh?
Mr. Irrelevant.
Okay, so Kelly, I'm going to leave off because
Ooh.
Kelly's fine.
Kelly serves her purpose. She's got funny moments.
Angela's an easy one to target.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to hold off for now. Ryan's another easy one to target. Ryan's actually a very easy one to target.
That's an undrafted free agent right there. You can pick him up later.
I have him on the phone right now. Roy's an easy one to target. However, that ruins everything that I've ever said about Pam, so I'm leaving him off.
That's going to clash your team chemistry. I tell you much. I just said I tell you much. I don't know what I was meant to say, but all right.
But there's a very unlikable person in the show that I think people overlook. And it's because she acts like her husband, Bob Vance from Vance Refrigeration, is the greatest person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Phyllis Vance sucks. Again, she acts like her husband is just the cream of the crop. No, he owns a refrigeration business that rents out a small part of the warehouse in Scranton, PA. Get out of here. And that's all I really have to say about her. I can't really think of anything else about her.
She got power hungry, just like Angela, the second she was put in charge of the party planning committee.
Yeah, she's very prudish.
She just turned into Angela the second she got that power.
She's very snippy. She's very petty. I agree. Yeah.
And she didn't even finish those freaking mittens that she was going to make for Michael before he left. So Michael left there with 1.5 mittens. What am I going to do with 1.5 mittens?
How long? How long
half
is it?
a frostbite?
How long does it take to knit? I don't know, knit together a couple of mittens.
Crochet? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, how long does that take? A couple days.
That's
She
3
procrastinated.
business days.
She procrastinated on it.
Yeah, there wasn't as much love as she said there was in those mittens.
Kick rocks, Felix.
Yeah, kick minerals.
Jesus, Marie.
Wow.
All right. All right. So your list: you have Pete, Holly, Andy, Brian, Nelly, Jim, D'Angelo, and Kevin. I have Pam, Clark, Robert California, Oscar, Gabe Lewis, Toby, Stanley, and Phyllis.
Dude, my squad's way worse than your squad.
You think so?
If I was in a room with my squad and I had a gun with 7 bullets and 4 Hitlers and 3 Osama bin Ladens were in the room, I would shoot all of my cast members.
Well, one of them would still be living because you have 8 cast members, so.
Nard dog, what it do? All right, quickly, who I left off was Meredith, because she was really a one-note character that is so unlikable. Season 1, Michael Scott didn't get picked. Kathy, the girl that tried to sleep with Jim when they were in Florida.
Ooh, yeah.
And Danny Cordray.
What did you not like about Danny Cordray?
What did he do? He was supposed to be this charming traveling businessman, and I really didn't buy it. Great, you seduced Meredith. Welcome to the freaking club, guy. His whole weird thing where they were like, he went on a date with Pam was completely was a waste of time, because it turned out she was just dorky and not his type. And Pam decides to make oh my God, how can you not? You guys didn't mesh. That's kind of how relationships either work or don't work. And then Jim got all mad about it. It's like, my dude, it just seemed like a waste of this character. And his original answer was, I stopped talking to her because all she did was talk about Jim. And I thought that would have been worthwhile for this character. But other than that, what did Danny Cordray bring to the table? Other than a Todd Packer replacement? Because it's 2020 and Todd Packer's behavior will not be tolerated.
He didn't replace Packer. That was the one little like joke though, is that Michael hired them. He's like, oh crap, I completely forgot about Packer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's any hate for Danny. He did really nothing.
He just didn't bring anything to the table. That's why I didn't pick him. I don't even know if I'll give him a call. He could probably stay in the free. He'll probably stay in a practice squad somewhere for a few years. If I'm being real.
All right. I mean, so who are the other?
But I was close to getting season 1 Michael Scott on here.
Dude, season 1 Michael Scott's funny though. He's funny.
Is he?
Yes, he's hilarious.
I said he was basically D'Angelo Vickers with an unnecessary comedy routine.
No.
That's what I said he was. What? You're telling me he wasn't an insensitive piece of trash just making jokes no one thinks is funny?
That's funny.
It was a little uncomfortable to begin with, and I think they improved his character a ton from season 2 to season 7 or whenever he left.
They improved it. They improved his hair. I can tell you that much. Dude, you watch that first season. It's just like,
and they had his tie and his shirt buttoned all the way up, and he had like this double chin. It's like, bro, you're not Steve Carell. You're not fat enough for a double chin.
Yeah, that was quite a transformation.
That dude de-aged by freaking 10 years from season 1 to season 2.
I don't see any problem with Meredith ever.
She just didn't really. She was like a female Kevin. Like when they made Kevin dumb, it's like, okay, Meredith, she's disgusting. She bones anything. What are we doing with this?
I'd still put Angela over those 3, but it'd be close.
I thought Angela had her funny. Well, I guess as a person, Angela's probably the worst. But as a character, I liked Angela. I thought she was good for the show.
All right.
Am I boring you? What the frick?
No, I apologize. I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I apologize, Matt.
Nah. He hates my takes.
I hate your Holly take.
Real, dude. I think Holly's overrated as frick.
The other ones I can agree with, but your Holly
Can you?
take's bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you agree with the Jim take?
I mean, since I said early season Jim and you said late season Jim, I'll give you a pass. But
And Pam and Jim were pretty insufferable to begin with, because they just thought they were just the greatest thing in the entire office.
I agree. All right. Well, I've got
This was
nothing.
a long episode.
This was a long episode. I felt like we were moving along, and then something happened. I don't know what.
Big Brother took a while. We went in.
There's also a point where I looked over and my mic wasn't recording. I don't know for how long. But like I just got done with the Pam rant, so. But it was an epic rant. I basically talked about how insensitive she is, her relationship, how she's strung
No, I
along.
get it. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna explain to the people because they're not gonna hear it.
Oh yeah. That was fun.
But just basically how Pam had a backup plan in Jim and never fully committed to Roy, and how she failed art school and Jim welcomed her back with open arms after wasting all that money and time. Yet Jim couldn't start this whole thing without some complaining. The whole athlete without some complaining from Pam. So
I tell you what, you're painting not a full picture, fella. I don't like it.
Oh, also her art sucked. Let's
It's very display motel room esque.
Yeah,
like frick, we need some generic art. There you go. There's a Pam Beesley original.
And Oscar, that was another dick move by Oscar for saying that out loud with Gil and whatever.
Oh yeah,
but he was right. He was
yeah. When the only person that likes your art is Michael Scott, that's a wake up call. That's not an endearing Michael Scott moment. That's holy cow. The only person that likes my art is Michael Scott. I need to get out of this. This is not the profession for me.
Speaking of Oscar and Michael, one of the other great moments in the show of all the great moments is when they're at the job fair and Michael's like, I would never tell her this to her face, but I think she is a wonderful human and a great artist. And I was just thinking, why would you never tell that to her face?
That's so funny.
Oh.
Oh, frick, dude. The Office is so good.
All right, Matt.
I gotta get it the complete DVD set before they yank it off Netflix.
I forget how many seasons we went up to for our DVD set before DVDs kind of just became obsolete.
Dude, physical media will make a comeback once your freaking 480p streaming on your trash Wi-Fi package that's gone up in price. And looks like it's COVID time. What are we gonna do with all our time? Looks like I've got this wall of Blu-rays to watch. Kick rocks, everyone. Yeah, so you know what? Physical media is the way to go forever.
Yeah, there's some upside to it. I agree.
Higher quality. You don't have to worry about internet going out. You don't have to worry about Netflix losing the rights to a thing and yanking it every other month.
You're absolutely right. The only problem is, one, it's not easily accessible. Well, it's not as accessible, and two, the machines that have to run them are not accessible.
What do you mean?
Like DVD players and all that. Like you can't. Like you're just like, oh, I want to watch a movie. Oh, well, now I gotta go get a DVD player. Where am I gonna even buy a DVD player?
Do you not know what Amazon is?
Yeah, but then I have to wait 2 days. At least.
Then you buy it and then you're good.
What if it breaks?
You're ticking me off, man. You're ticking me off.
All right, let's call it an episode there. Follow us.
Get an episode there. How you doing?
Follow us on all of our. Matt, you want to plug your TikTok? What's your TikTok?
I don't even know. It's gonna get banned in like 30 days.
I see you've been putting some work in on there.
Yeah, freaking Matt Mamba 24 because someone took Matt Mamba and someone also took the Matt Mamba and I'm the Matt Mamba. So I don't know what the frick everyone's doing here. So I'm Matt Mamba 24.
Okay, Matt Mamba 24, Matt Mamba 24 on Twitter, Matt Mamba on YouTube. C Brownie
And
40.
Matt Mamba in your hearts.
That's right.
Sorry.
C Brownie _45 on Twitter for me. The Big Sale 45 on Twitch for me. Brownie Delight 45 on OnlyFans
Yeah,
for
it is.
me. I think
There
that's
it is,
it.
baby.
Yeah. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it because the OnlyFans now replaces the Fat Jackson fan.
Oh yeah, we got a new bit. We got a new bit.
So that's good. Well,
This episode's sponsored by
Raid Shadow
could
Legends.
be you.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Could be you. I'm out of things
It's not really
to say.
sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. All right, episode 19 ASMR.
Dang it.
Episode 19 ASMR episode.